Hello everybody, and today is March 25th. Today is Tuesday. Welcome to Enjoy the Movies, where I, Nam, put in my 2 cents about movies. Now, unfortunately today I will be reviewing a couple of bad movies, as promised last time. So, pretty much what I'm going to talk about, first two movies, Pineapple and Loaded. And then the toss-up, the one that I want to talk about today, is called The Nines. So, let's just start with this movie, Pineapple. Now, I've never heard of this movie before, and it looked kind of interesting, so I rented it. Tried watching it, but 25 minutes in, I really lost interest, and nothing's... You see how confused I am right now? This is how confused I was while watching this movie. It was just... I was not paying any attention to it at all. Couldn't understand a single thing, like why they were doing certain stupid ridiculousness. Now, this movie was not engaging. The acting wasn't even that great. They throw in a lot of scenes in strip clubs, and they have the normal, drugs, guns, and honestly, if you asked me what this movie was about, I seriously couldn't tell you, because I really lost interest, and there was nothing going for it. Like, they would just show you a bunch of situations, and, these characters were in these scenes, and it was just like, oh, okay, alright. And, like, later in the movie, there's some random, ridiculous sex scenes going on that don't really make sense, like why these people would subject themselves to this sort of thing. And, like, it's not, like, gross or anything, it's just kind of, like, weird. And I kind of didn't want to see it. You didn't really see anything, but they implanted the idea into my head. So it's already too late. It's already in there. Now, okay, so most bad movies I see on IMDb, if there's any significant number of people, like, rating the movie or whatever, it's usually, around an average 5. Even some of the ones that I bashed and thought were really bad, some people thought, maybe 6s. So, you might get them to see that high. But, unfortunately, now normally I don't care what other people think, but when the sheer statistics are close to 0, it's kind of almost hard not to notice. This movie, Pineapple, got 19 votes, and out of those 19 votes, the user rating was 4. So, if that doesn't tell you anything about this movie, it just sucks. Like, just don't even consider watching it. Just no. So, I don't even know what else to say about it. Not at all. Okay. So, let's just move on and forget about it. Now, Loaded. This movie is also just as obscure. This movie is bad. At least this one had some action in it. I won't lie. Some of the scenes were kind of exciting. Story really didn't go anywhere. And it seemed like it was just a random excuse to have action scene after some talking and drama after action scene. But they weren't like big glamorous action scenes or anything. It was kind of like running away from people, shooting some people, and punching and kicking some people. And it wasn't that exciting. So, but I won't lie. This one at least had a slight plot. I could follow it a little bit, and it kind of made sense to some extent. But it's not that great. So, it's about this kid. He's a rich kid, and he gets involved with some wrong people via plot devices. And that's pretty much it. Now, the one thing that I noticed between both Loaded and Pineapple was their gratuitous use of strip club scenes. Now, okay, so you get to see girls with boobs, but it really does nothing for the movie. Okay, I'm not complaining about the scenes, but honestly, I'd rather watch a good movie with no nudity than a really terrible movie with gratuitous nudity. Not only that, gratuitous nudity that means nothing. So, what's sex without love? It's still sex, but anyway. I digress. If you didn't see that movie review way back, you should totally watch it. I think it was for Good Luck Chuck. Anyway, so this movie sucked. Now, in both Pineapple and Loaded, there weren't really any big names, with the exception of maybe the main character of Loaded. I personally have really only seen him in one movie before, at least one that I remember. And, let me see, this was, he was the main guy in John Tucker Must Die. So, that's pretty much the only thing I've seen him in. He's been in a couple other things, but I can't say I've seen him in anything else. So, needless to say, he didn't do too bad a job. I actually think he has, some acting skill. I mean, maybe not the best, but maybe given a chance, he might be able to, strut his stuff. His name is Jesse Metcalf, or McAuliffe, or however you pronounce his name. So, that's him. And that was Pineapple and Loaded. So, for both Pineapple and Loaded, thumbs down. Don't ever watch it. If you've got nothing else better to do, you're better off just watching a TV movie. So turn on the TV and watch a movie. Because these two just suck. Alright, so enough with the bashing. I needed to watch this other movie because my roommates and I, we were all talking about it at some point a while back when we saw the trailer. There's this movie called The Nines. Now, this is supposed to be a thriller, suspense, sci-fi-ish kind of movie. Even though when we first watched the trailer, we didn't think it was supposed to be a sci-fi movie, but upon reading the back, it kind of is. Now, anyway, The Nines is this movie starring Ryan Reynolds. He's been in other movies like Waiting. He was Van Wilder in National Lampoon's Van Wilder. So you might have seen him before. And I actually personally like him a lot as an actor. Now, I saw this film, I was like, oh, he's in that film. I should watch it too. So, decided to get it, and we watched it. Now, this is a different kind of movie. It seemed like a thriller suspense at first, but when I started watching it and I read the back again, it totally seems different. The thing about this movie is there's 3 segments to the movie. Each segment is its own individual short story. However, there's some threads that weave through all 3 stories, and you're not sure exactly how this thread works its way through until about 2/3, 3/4 of the way through the movie, where there's this crazy plot twist that kind of explains stuff to you, and you're like, whoa! Now, they do a good job with a little bit of the jumping around, because there's some of that jumping around of chronology. So you find out some things earlier than you do later. But, okay, so the rough premise, in each of the short stories, it stars pretty much the same 3 actors, Ryan Reynolds, Melissa McCarthy, and Hope Davis. And they're all interacting via whatever situation they're in currently. But all 3 are separate and disjoint, and they're all supposed to be different people in each one. Now, what I found to be slightly amusing was that the second one was kind of done documentary style, where Ryan Reynolds played this guy named Gavin, and Melissa McCarthy, you might know her from Gilmore Girls, and she played Melissa, she basically played herself, except within the constraints of, whatever her role was, just, having her own name. But they actually referenced a lot of things from outside. So they referenced her being on Gilmore Girls. They referenced video game systems. They referenced a few other things. And I just want to say that this film actually gave a lot of verisimilitude. So you can kind of believe that it could happen given the constraints, if you take away all the sci-fi stuff. Now, if you really like thought exercises, this movie is an excellent movie for you to watch, because there's this theme of the nines. There's the theme of number 9, variations on the number 9. There's 3 short stories, so 3 is the square root of 9, and I don't know. You could probably make so many conjectures about how many different patterns there are in this movie, but needless to say, besides that, if you like the idea of short films, all very intertwined, big thought experiment, and very well done, great acting, especially as seen in the 3 various different short stories, you can definitely tell that they're all good actors, because they can act in different roles, yet seemingly different personalities, but all within the same movie. So you can definitely compare like that. But beyond that, it's slower. If you like just Hollywood movies, don't worry about it. But if you like thinking about things, if you like mysteries, if you like thought experiments or thought exercises, or you like sci-fi, definitely recommend this movie. It was very good. It's very well done. I actually have really no qualms about it at all. So I actually thought it was an excellently well done movie. See you guys around, and have a good night.